When you say people need to talk less, I didn't know if you were talking about wrestling shows, but unfortunately this week on Friday night, I watched some of SmackDown. The only segments worthwhile were the talking segments.
Boy, they've hit on a formula. If the first promo segment is good enough, then you'll sit through the middle hour and 35 or 40 minutes to get to the last promo segment, and hopefully that'll be good and send you home happy. And in the middle, you can just do the laundry, wash your hair, clip your toenails, whatever, because it's pretty sad. So you watched this. Did you see the revelation from, it was an interview with Ronda Rousey. I can't remember where it was. I say it was reproduced everywhere on the internet. The reason she's so smiling and happy lately is Vince McMahon told her to smile more. Smile! We've been complaining. Where'd the game face go? Where'd her badass look go? She's a smiling, happy little girl. Come to find out, Vince again took away the one thing that we looked forward to about Ronda Rousey.
It's the same thing he did to the Ultimate Warrior, actually. Got over with kids like me being this maniac running around killing everyone. Next thing you know, he's smiling, happy, has a human life.
Well, on SmackDown this past week, it was Friday, February 25th, for those of you keeping track, but the opening segment was Michael Cole in the ring with Ronda Rousey. And there were parts of this that were, for once, Michael Cole was wonderful here because he did exactly what he was supposed to do.
Yeah, I was going to say that this is the perfect role for Michael Cole. I can't even complain about this. He was perfect here.
He conducted the interview. He held the microphone, he asked questions, and then he asked follow-up questions on the answers. And at the same time, he's the one who was reciting all of Ronda Rousey's accomplishments so that she didn't have to. If they want her to be a babyface, she can't come out and brag on herself for 15 minutes. That's his job, to put her over, list her accomplishments. So, and with a normal babyface, the aw shucks kind of thing, works. With Ronda Rousey, though. So I like what Michael Cole did, and this was a template for how to interview a babyface, an announcer, and stay in the interview and stay in the ring. Not, thank you for introducing me, you're dismissed. It looked like it was legitimate, but the problem, again, with Ronda Rousey, to me, her appeal was she was the baddest bitch on the planet. She armbarred all those girls in the UFC in a minute. She had the game face coming out. It was Rousey mania for a while. It was everywhere. But the look, the attitude, the aura you got from her was she's the baddest bitch on the block. She's going into these fights, right? That's what was appealing. And those were real fights. So yes, she had the game face on. But why did she change in wrestling? And obviously Vince told her to smile. And I've heard Vince say it, and I've heard the people under Vince say it. Well, we need to give them personality. Flesh out their personality. We don't want one-dimensional. Show other dimensions of their character. No. That's what led Goldberg in, 2003, to wear a blonde wig. Because they wanted to show other elements of his personality, flesh out his character, give him more dimensions. No. We don't want dimensions. Do you want dimensions to goddamn Rocky? Did John Wayne need dimensions when he was the sheriff? Does fucking Bruce Willis need dimensions at Nakatomi Tower? Ronda Rousey, the baddest bitch on the planet, has the game face, comes out with fucking Joan Jett music, beats people quick, wins decisively. Same way Goldberg. Spear, jackhammer, headbutting lockers. We didn't want to see him wearing a fucking wig. Now we found out by her own interviews as well as the television program that Ronda Rousey, she was defensive. This was the word. She was defensive when she came back because she was afraid the fans were going to boo her and she didn't want to get booed, but she thought they were going to boo her because of the things that she said when she left last time that she apparently meant and wasn't working to get heel heat, because apparently she's emotionally fragile in the same way she cracked up when she lost one fight in the UFC. She takes it to heart when the fans boo her and it hurts her feelings. So now apparently the baddest woman on the planet we now know is emotionally fragile. And so, Brian, my question that I'm asking you after she did this promo, where she's talking about, well, she broke her hands, then she had a baby, but her mother was a badass and she wants to set that example for her kid. Okay, that's a nice babyface story, but have they lost complete sight of why everybody was crazy about Ronda Rousey to begin with? And now she's just a giggly little girl who gets her feelings hurt.
Other than the fact that she is Ronda Rousey and everything that encapsulates the star power, the name, the reputation, this was kind of brutal. And there was nothing about the person out there other than it being Ronda Rousey that would cause anyone to, I don't know, get behind someone. It was awkward. Yep. She couldn't get any lines out. You say Michael Cole was reading her accomplishments. It was his role. I don't think she could have done it.
Well, no, she couldn't have got that out anyway. And that's one of the roles of the interviewer. I've been in that situation plenty of times. You get out the information that the talent will not be able to convey clearly or quickly or whatever. And so, yes, you know, that part he did fine. But like you said, if it had been anybody else but Ronda Rousey, who was already a star, you'd think, well, geez, it was my first interview on Memphis TV, right? It was like, what's he doing here? This clearly doesn't fit on the program. She just, you know, she's a smiley, happy little girl that wants it. Now she's living her dream, I guess. Everybody's happy when they come to the WWF to live their dream. That's the same thing Steve Austin said when he came in. Remember, it's always been my dream to be here. I'd work here for nothing. But I'm just saying what all the things that made Ronda Rousey stand out as a shoot have been taken away from her. And now, and you mentioned at the Saudi Arabia show, because the girl, she wore the karate gi, which looked good, and the absolutely no makeup look, which made her look 14 years old, like she just rolled out of bed. But what is the deal with the gimmick binoculars eye makeup?
That's what I was saying. I was so happy she didn't have in Saudi Arabia. The monster makeup, I don't know what that look is, but especially for her to be a baby face, talking like a human out there, not talking like a wrestler, because, you know, she can't really do a promo like that, or she hasn't. It's really a weird look, and I don't get it. And I think it turns off fans, actually. I think there's nothing babyface about it.
And I mean, again, she's Ronda Rousey. She's a shoot. She's, you know, really a real fighter, Pinocchio. So it's not like she has to stick to all the rules of tan, you know, but she's translucent skin color with the black circles around her eyes. That, remember, you used to be able to get the gimmick binoculars in the back of the magazine for $5.99 or whatever. And then you'd tell your friend, hey, look through these binoculars, and they would, and it would make their fucking eyes black. Anyway, she wants to be, Ronda does, the first woman to tap out Charlotte. And they showed pictures of the interaction in Saudi Arabia where Ronda had her arm tied behind her back or by her side at various points, and Charlotte was kicking the shit out of her. Well, she wants to get even for that, but wouldn't you know, the mention of that brought out Charlotte. Just dripping bitchiness. And she wants to be the first one to tap Ronda Rousey out. And I thought she did a good job there as a condescending heel, you know, and making the mockery of her, et cetera. You're going to send Ronda home to work on baby number 2. But while Charlotte did a good job with that, it's almost like now they've got it. They are giving the vibe off that Ronda Rousey is being bullied by this smart ass heel, and all these horrible things being said about. They've got Ronda Rousey being bullied. It's like, and she had the pout face, the boo boo face, kind of. Like, how dare you say that to me? But before we got any physicality between those two, Cruella de Vil suddenly appeared and attacked Ronda Rousey from behind. So it was fine with me that Cruella de Vil was a representative of WWE management and working alongside or underneath or doggy style or in whatever position she's working with Adam Pearce. And it was even fine when she was verbally berating one of the talents, Naomi, and she was obviously, not a fan of Naomi and trying to hold her down. But now that she's just coming out on live television and physically attacking members of the roster, is it safe to say that the time has come where Cruella ought to be relieved of her management position if this was the case?
Well, Vince is too busy training for his comeback.
All right. So Charlotte pulls Rousey out and wraps her knee around the post a couple of times. They're getting heat on her. And then Cruella's going to do something to her, and Ronda monkey flips Cruella with the good leg, and Cruella rolls out of the ring. Charlotte had disappeared by that point, and that's the way it ended. So Ronda Rousey, the biggest mainstream female star on the roster, has been attacked by a member of management and one of the other big stars on the roster, and nobody cared enough to try to stop it or help out in any way. But then once that Charlotte did her damage to Ronda and Ronda was still able to monkey flip Cruella, Charlotte had completely disappeared. Cruella didn't want any more. Ronda ends up in the ring, and they just move on. Flattered and 4 o'clock. Good talent, rotten booking. That's pretty much what I saw.
You kind of want Ronda to be the female Brock in a sense, in terms of legitimacy, in terms of toughness, in terms of star power, but it feels like she's going in reverse. She started with all of that.
Yeah.
And whether it's her confidence or whatever it is, I don't know. It seems like a different person now than the Ronda Rousey who debuted and the one who started working there.
I'm wondering if she just came back to fulfill the contract and she's not really. She's like, I've done this now. I don't know.
If that's the case, if that's what you think it could be, who do you put over in that match?
Well, it's going to be a letdown. I mean, I don't know what their future plans are. If they've got her for contractual appearances going forward, it would not be good for Ronda Rousey to lose this particular match to Charlotte. If they're not happy with her attitude, they may check it a little bit and play with the finish and see what happens. Who knows? But normally at WrestleMania, most of the baby faces go over. One would think this would fit in that category.
They should go all the way with the makeup. If she really wants to wear it, go all dump Matsumoto and put her with Shayna. You have two badasses. You have Dump and Bull. And I think they should go with that. Tons of makeup, badasses.
I'm thinking Ronda's a Svengoolie fan.
Oh, because of the eye makeup. Interesting.
And she just couldn't get her top hat in time. And